Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Categorically Romance podcast. I am Bree, and I am solo today. Aaron is in class this evening, but I am joined by a friend of the podcast that we have finally got here, and it is Jhonatas, all the way from Brazil. Welcome to the podcast, friend. Thank you for finally being here.
Oh, Brie, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here talking to you. And actually, it's an honor because I have been listening to the podcast for a while. And I could never imagine that one day I would join you guys just as the authors that I love.
Well, thank you. Okay, so tell everybody where you are in the world and a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm from Bahia in Brazil. Usually people just know Rio de Janeiro, São Paulo, but I live in the state of Bahia. It's pretty hot here. And I'm a romance reader, I'm a romance writer, I'm both of it, of this world.
Yes. Okay, so tell me your romance origin story. Like, how did you become a romance reader?
Well, my romance origin is kind of funny because I used to study in a religious school when I was a kid and a teenager. So I was able to read just things from my church, you know?
Okay, yeah.
But one day when I was leaving the cinema with a few friends, I passed by a bookstore and I saw a beautiful cover of two in one book, do you know? Like two books in one.
Yes,
They
yes.
were by Maisie Yates and Sharon Kendrick.
Of
I bought
course.
the book just because of the cover. I knew nothing about romance. I knew nothing about happy endings. I just started to read because of the cover.
I love
They
that.
were
Yeah.
beautiful. And I started to read. I fell in love with the internal conflicts. I fell in love with the happy endings. I love this. Like when you are in hard times, like studying to get into college, just wanted a happy ending. And I found that in those books.
Oh my gosh. A Sharon Kendrick and Maisie Yates 2-in-1. So
Yeah.
you picked up a modern or what we presents.
Like you call presents or modern, but here we call it paixão, which is passion.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay, we have to talk all about this. Let me jot this down so that we don't forget.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so you fell in love with these books. When did you decide like, okay, I want to try writing one? Cuz you've written books.
Yeah, actually, when I started to buy those books, I was a little bit shy because of the covers. So
Okay.
I went to the bookstore and I buy it and hide inside my bag
Okay.
because and I was like reading and reading. And I was like, okay, I need to write one book too. I listened to an interview of the author of Fifty Shades of Grey, and
Mhm.
she said something like she was going to work and she write her book on the phone. And I was like, okay, if she can write a book going to work, I can try it. So
Yeah.
I write, and it was kind of like presents vibes. It's not published, but it has these vibes. The name was The Shake and the Virgin, something like that.
You wrote a shake romance?
Yeah, I
Oh,
love
I
these
love
books.
it. I love shake romances.
And the funny thing is that my director of the school found out, and she read the book
Oh
and
my gosh.
invited me to go to her room and asked me why I was writing Shake romance. But I was proud because I love these books like Shake, Prince, Billionaires.
Yeah. So you did the shake because that was one of your like favorite kind of
Yeah,
tropes from those. Okay.
they still are
Okay.
actually.
Yeah. I love the desert romances. I love the desert romances.
Maybe because I come from a really hot place.
Yeah.
Also, I feel like I know what they're talking about in the books.
Yeah, like I spent some time in Saudi Arabia in the city of
Oh,
Riyadh and
really?
I fell in love. It's so gorgeous. I just loved that desert city vibe. And so yeah, like the desert presents are just like top notch for me. Like I love them so much.
It's one of my dreams to visit Saudi Arabia. I
Oh,
have been in Egypt for 3 months. It was one of the best experience of my life. I wanted to live there forever, actually.
I know. Okay, I've seen that because your Twitter handle photo is like you can see the
Yeah,
pyramids in the back. So
yeah,
like did you
yeah,
do the whole pyramid thing or what?
yeah. Actually, my project there was to visit like many cities. I don't remember the name anymore, but I was in Cairo, Dahab, the pyramids that are in Cairo. So we made many pictures. We wrote texts to share more information about Egypt because usually people think that they are just about sands. So the idea of this project were to show to the world that there are more than this. So it
Yeah.
was amazing. And it helped me to create new romance novels with sheikhs and Arab people.
Yeah. Oh, I love this. Oh my gosh. Okay, so tell me some of your favorites. Tell me some of your favorite like modern present or just in general. Y'all
Oh,
call it Mills and Boone still in Brazil, right? It's still Mills and Boone there.
it's Harlequin Brazil. Harlequin
Harlequin
Brazil,
Brazil.
yes, Brazil with the accent.
I love that. Okay. So, okay,
But
what are the lines called there? Because so we have presents, and that is say
presents would be paixão.
okay. Do you have special edition?
Special edition would be just special.
Okay, so special.
In
Do you have
English.
desire? Do you have
Desire would
desire?
be desejo.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Place was a flor da pele.
Oh my gosh, it sounds so good. Okay, what else? Did you have Kiss when Kiss was out?
Kiss was in the line of, like, if I translate to you, would be Queen of Romance. We had a line that was like Queen of Romance, just with famous authors, and sometimes we had Kiss. I think I read just one book. I don't remember the name anymore because it was long ago.
Mhm. Queen of Romance?
Yeah,
Oh my god, I'm
with Laurie
obsessed.
Foster, Diana Palmer, um, which else? Sherry Woods, I think that's her
Mhm.
name. Yeah, they were Queen of Romance.
Okay. So, like, what are the lines that readers there seem to really love the most? Do you know?
Presents.
Presents?
But do
Okay.
you know, something sad happened. Harlequin Brazil decided to stop publishing category romance in print here. So now they just publish reissues of old books in ebook version. And that
Really?
kind of opened a new market because,
Okay.
like, the Brazilian authors found it like a way to publish books and find the public. So this type of books, like the category romance now, are more famous on Amazon, for example. Like on, how can I pronounce
On
that?
Kindle?
Yeah, Kindle, yes. But I was so sad. And that's actually one of the reasons that made me learn English because I wanted to keep reading those books because I love them. And I was like, okay, I need to start studying. I need to focus on that. And I decided, I started to study because I could not just wait for the translation. I wanted more. I wanted to discover new lines.
How long would it take for the translated books to hit the stores there?
That's a good question because, like, sometimes they choose a book from 20 years ago and publish now, you know? So
Wow.
that is not like something that it's for sure.
So if you want a new release, I'm reading Amanda Cinelli's Presents right now,
Oh, we don't have that in
you would not
Portuguese.
get that.
No, I would need to buy in English.
Okay. So you would have to, like, get on Amazon
Yeah,
and buy the English ebook version from there.
I like to buy the imprint they send to me, but it take ages. Like,
Oh, so
uh,
you'll order the physical copy, but you just have
mhm,
to wait for it to get there.
yeah.
Okay.
I last year I ordered my Christmas book I think in October and I received in January. So
Oh my
I'm still
gosh.
trying to read them.
Oh my gosh.
Actually,
Okay, well,
I didn't even start to read the Christmas books. I'm reading right now Forbidden to the Desert Prince by Maisie Yates. Shake.
oh my gosh. Okay, what about the libraries? Like, what is the library scene like there?
I usually don't visit libraries that much because when I was a teenager and tried to visit some of them, I just found like classical books and I'm not actually into that. I don't like
Okay.
classical.
Yeah.
So yeah, usually the libraries are just full of these books like um
Classics.
yeah, like Machado de Assis is a Brazilian author that's really famous here. It's a classical. José de Alencar. They use it to write romance, but in 2000, 200 years ago.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. That is just I'm still like my mind is still boggled that like you all aren't getting new releases there. What the heck?
Oh,
Just
I remember that when Harlequin um, posted a text about this, Like my Facebook was crazy. Like many fans were so sad, and I understand them because here the country is huge, and it's not easy to make the books arrive to everyone, and
Yeah.
it's getting harder and harder. So they just decided to stop publishing them in print.
Okay. So when you get on Amazon, are you getting on I mean, do y'all have your own Amazon there, or is it like the States is Amazon?
Yeah, we have Amazon Brazil here.
Okay, so you're able to get onto your Amazon and order the print copy of the
Yes,
book. It just
but
takes a while.
I just don't understand because sometimes I can't find a few books.
Okay.
Like historical is not easy to find. So
Yeah.
I almost can't read them. Like I order one or two, but it's really hard. Sometimes it takes like 4 months to arrive here.
Oh my gosh, and at that point, you probably forgot you even ordered the
Yeah.
book.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So have you been able to connect with other readers there? Cuz I remember when we first set up the Instagram for the podcast, I don't know how I came across Harlequin Brazil as a hashtag, but there
Uh,
seemed to be a ton of readers down there. So have you connected
yeah.
with other readers or no?
Yes, and when I started to read romance, just a little bit after that, I started to write, and it helped me to grow my public, because
Yeah.
like the readers that were my friends also liked to read the books that I like to write. So we have a community here, and when we release new books, they create groups and share on the social media. It's great, and it's also great to know more authors, romance authors from Brazil.
Are you
And
working on anything now?
yes, I'm writing monster romance,
Oh my
which is
gosh. No. How did this happen? How did this happen?
I was reading a romance group, and readers were asking like, "Oh, I need more monster romance in Portuguese. I can't find them." And I was like, "What's monster romance? I never hear, I never read one of those books." And I started to search, and I was like, "Okay, I would like to write one." So I just started, and I fell in love with the book. It's
Okay,
kind of
can you give us any
crazy.
details? Give us some details. Because monster romance is huge, especially here. It's huge.
Yeah, I was searching on Amazon USA, and I saw that there are so many monster romance.
Yes.
We don't have it here yet. I think it will start to grow maybe from this year, because I saw many readers asking for that.
Mhm.
So this book that I'm writing now, is about an alien that was
Okay.
created for love. His
Oh
mission
my gosh.
is to love. So the creators send many of them to different planets, and he comes to the Earth, and he saves the heroine and put in his mind like it's her, because when he finds the right person, a light start to be brilliant inside of him. So it's her. I will love her. I'm not in loving her now, but I know that I will do it in the future. So he starts to help her growing her self-esteem. It's funny, and it's also beautiful. Like I'm totally in love with the hero more than
I love
the
that.
heroine, actually.
Yeah, I mean, you're writing it. I hope you love it because then everybody's gonna love it.
Oh,
You can tell when an author loves what they are writing. Oh, that's so
yeah.
good.
I hope I will finish this book this week. I can't wait to give them the happy ending.
Yes. I mean, you have to I have to be able to read this book, okay? So we have to figure out how I can read this book.
I was thinking that maybe I could try to translate this book in English,
Okay. I
because it's
mean,
not that
yes.
long. It's like a short romance. I will do it. I will find a way to translate it in a good way.
Yes. Okay, readers down there obviously want monster romance. But what else? What's everybody reading in Brazil?
Um, it's just like presence vibes, like billionaire, CEO. What else?
I feel
Historical. They are
okay.
being great now because of the Bridgerton series, and they like hot romance actually. Like if you open the bestseller list on Amazon, they are full of hot romance. I think everywhere, right?
Yeah,
We
yeah.
enjoy steamy romance.
I'm just jealous because I feel like you all have like stuff that I probably would never see. And I'm like, I want to know what you all are reading down there.
Yeah, and I saw that right now here in Brazil, dark romance is starting to get famous.
Oh my
I don't know how
gosh.
is it in the United States, but here
Yes,
it's
it's huge.
getting huge. Yeah,
It's huge.
I
I
didn't
feel
have the
like dark
opportunity to read
romance.
them yet.
Yeah, I haven't ventured into it yet, but like all my friends who love it, I love hearing them talk about it. It's huge. It is. I honestly think it's probably one of the biggest like
Oh,
quote unquote
really?
subgenres of romance. Yes, it is huge. People love it.
Yeah, I think it's getting really famous here too.
Category romance starter pack. Somebody has never read one and they come to you and they're like, "What should I read? What's your
Oh,
list?"
there are three Blaze romance novels that I love. They are remarkable, and I still can't believe that Harlequin decided to stop publishing them because they were my favorite.
Okay.
And
Okay, tell
it's
me why. Tell me why you loved Blaze so much first.
because they were funny and hot and addictive.
Yeah.
I,
Yeah.
it's like with presents, they were like my favorite. I could not have enough of them. But here in Brazil, it didn't was published for a long time either. It was published for like 2 years maybe, and then they stopped it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I was
Okay.
so sad. And those three books are by Tiffany Rice.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Yeah, it's her her Halloween treat, her naughty holiday, and one hot December. Do you know
Those are
them?
classic Blazes. Yes, those are classic
Oh,
Blazes.
I
Yes.
love them, and I still open her website sometimes to see if she decided to write new books for Harlequin because they are perfect. For me, they are the perfect example of a category romance. I love them so much.
Yeah. I mean, and as a trilogy, it's just perfection, but I think each book obviously is just fantastic on its own. Um
Yeah.
each one of them has like such a key moment like that just makes each one of them just so unforgettable. They're so good.
hmm And from the present, I would mention The Billionaire's Baby Negotiation by Millie Adams, which is Maisie Yates.
Mhm.
Uh, oh my god, this was one of the best books I have read recently. They had the hero and the heroine had perfect chemistry, and I cried at the end of the book.
Love it.
I remember that I was so emotional that I wrote to Maisie like, "Thank you for writing this masterpiece. I'm so emotional right now. Thank you, thank you."
Thank you for making me cry.
Yeah.
She's so good. Oh, she's so good. That woman knows how to write like an emotional story.
Yeah, I cried. And the other book is Day One Night Reunion by Abby Green.
Abby Green. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. So you loved the book. You loved it?
Yeah, because uh, the hero is Brazilian.
Yes.
So I was like, she made a perfect research about Brazil. I could feel it. It's really good.
Yeah, I loved that like in was it the prologue or was it chapter 1? I don't know. So much happens in like the first few pages of that book. Like we
Yeah.
see them get married, we see them get divorced, and then they're being sent off to a private island because somebody's trying to like kidnap them. And it's like, what is going on here? It's so good.
And what I loved the most was the fact that they remember things that they lived together in the past.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. It was almost like after that year was up, they finally like had a moment to realize like you have been here with me through so much and like I do love you, you know? Like I
Yeah.
don't think they would have realized that if they would have stayed married at first. It's so weird, but it's so perfect how it
Mm.
kind of comes together. Like this would not have happened if they would have just like stayed married. They had to like get divorced and like be going on separate paths to
I
finally realize like,
totally
wait a
agree.
minute, like you are my person. It's so good.
Yes. And I remember that I needed to go to the doctor for something, and I was reading this book and I was like, "Oh my god, this is so beautiful." I
Yes.
hope the doctor don't call me now because I want to finish reading this book here.
The one time the doctor is on time is when you're trying to sit there and read.
Yeah.
Yes, love it.
Maureen Child, am I pronouncing her name right? I'm not sure.
What's the book?
It's Ways to Win an Ex, The
Hmm.
Wrong Mr. Right, and One Little Secret. It's by
Okay,
Desire.
okay. Okay, Desire. Okay, okay. I'll make sure that I link them. Okay, so you love some Desire?
Yeah, I don't read them nowadays as much as before. I used to read much more when they released in Portuguese, but I read them. I love them too. But these three were remarkable. They were great. I remember that I think what was One Little Secret. I read it in one day.
Oh, a one sitting kind of book. Okay.
Yeah, and it's for me it's hard because I read in English, so it's kind of more tiring. It's not usual for me to read one book in one day in English.
Yeah. Okay. I get that.
So it's a proof that One Little Secret was really good.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Maureen Child. I just pulled it up. Yes. Oh, it's got a gorgeous
Yeah,
cover on it. Okay. Yeah.
they are great.
Do you all have, I mean, what about audiobooks? Do y'all get a lot of audiobooks?
Oh no, it's a really small market here.
Okay.
I was having classes about it last month, and the professor said that it's really hard because people here is not used to that yet, and it's
Okay.
expensive to produce. So we don't have it here right now. Maybe in the future.
I hope.
Yeah, I
I
hope to.
I'd be interested for you to like come back and tell us like everybody's loving audiobooks
I saw
or
that you are
everybody hates them.
listening to Alaskan Rescue, right?
Yes, I listened to that. Yeah. It's interesting because a lot of the lines here you don't see on audio. Like Lynn Graham, the Presents author, every new title she has come out there's an audiobook. But that's just something you don't see. It's so rare. But my one of the libraries that I belong to now, they have a lot of love inspired suspense on audio.
Oh,
So that's kind of my gateway in because it's a line that I haven't read that much from, but I'm like, they're on audio, so I'm going to start reading them as much as possible. So we'll see. We'll see.
I am wondering, like, when you pick a audiobook to listen, like the person that is reading, he acts or not? Because I never listened to an audiobook, so I don't know how it works actually.
Oh
Like
my
the person
gosh.
acts and give the emotion of the story, or he just reads.
Oh no, yeah. I mean, it's a performance, you know?
Oh,
I mean, you'll have some audio narrators that I've had narrators that I wasn't a fan of, but like for a friend, they're like one of their favorites. So, you kind of get used to some and then some you don't. There are some readers who like will specifically seek out, okay, I'm a really big fan of this narrator, so let me read
oh,
whatever else they've
really?
narrated. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's a performance. I mean, they can really make or break the audio experience. If you don't enjoy their narration, a lot of people will just like pick up the ebook or pick up the physical copy and, return the audiobook. So, yeah,
Oh,
a good narrator, it's going to be a performance for real.
now I want to have it here too.
I think you would love it. Yeah, I think you would love it. I started with audio on nonfiction. So, I mean, you don't think of like a performance with nonfiction, but
Uh-huh.
that's a lot of I think for a lot of readers, starting with nonfiction is what kind of guided us into giving fiction a try.
Yes. And what do you think about Alaskan Rescue on audiobook?
It was good. It was really good on audio. Like I said, I had never read a love-inspired suspense. I hadn't
Oh,
like, I've picked up some and I've started some, but like having one on audio, I was like, let me give this a try and see what I think. And I get the hype now about the canine handler type romances. I
uh,
was like, okay, there is something really sweet and cozy about this, on top of the fact that like somebody's trying to kill the heroine. So
yes.
I enjoyed it. So you read that one because you told me like I enjoyed it. You enjoyed that one. So do y'all get a lot of love inspired there?
No, we don't have it here in Brazil. I discovered the line after I started to study English.
Okay.
And
Okay.
nowadays, it's the line that I read the most with presents. I love to read
Really?
love inspired suspense because there are just so many things happening at the same time, and the chapters are short. I love short chapters.
Me too. Me
I
too.
love dogs. I love covers with dogs, so I just can't stop reading them.
Those are two totally different lines,
Yeah.
presents and love inspired suspense. But I love it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes I finish a present that is full of steamy, sexy scenes, and I start to read a love inspired suspense.
Yeah. It's a good balance. It's good to have balance.
Yeah.
Like I love like heartwarming was the first line I ever read, and I love
Mm.
heartwarming. Um and then so I feel like picking up Love Inspired was just kind of like the next best thing,
Mhm.
and I love Love Inspired, and I was like I need to read more Love Inspired suspense. So I just kind of went for it, and I'm like, okay, this I'm not the biggest suspenseful person. I am a total wimp.
Mm.
I can read horror, I can read paranormal, but there's something about like true crime that scares me a little bit because it's like
Mhm.
this is real. But I want to read more of it this year. So I was like, you know what? Let's go with Love Inspired Suspense, you know? So so far it's been good.
And it's funny because I love to read love inspired suspense, but I can't write a suspense. I can't. I tried, but it's not for me.
I think it'd
I
have to be a skill. Like it's a specific kind of skill.
Yeah, I sometimes I'm reading like a book by Terri Reid, for example, and she's just so smart how she
Yeah.
creates the plot and she develop it. It's amazing.
Yeah. I think like every time we talk to like a romantic suspense writer, it's like they go into this project wanting to not know the who done it. And I'm like, but you're
Oh,
writing the story, you know?
how? And I also wonder how they come up with some ideas. Like some of
Yeah.
them, like, oh my God, I could never think of it. Never.
Yeah, no, no, no. I think a lot of time a lot of them love like true crime TV. And you'd just be
Mm,
surprised, you know, where like a spark of inspiration will come from. It's like
uh,
true crime TV, watching the news, reading books. I mean, I
yes,
think the inspiration comes from everywhere, but I'm like, I don't consume that type of stuff, so I could never come up with it. I'm so scared.
exactly. I think I could maybe one day, but I can't imagine myself writing a suspense because it's really hard. As you said, it's like a skill.
Yeah, so you said earlier, you told me earlier that you're gonna be flying to Rio, right? In
Yeah,
the future, in the near future?
yeah, in April. I can't wait.
Okay,
I'll go there for vacation.
what do you do when you go to Rio? You're gonna be like a presents hero.
Well, I plan to visit a historical place there that nowadays is like a restaurant, and there's also a castle that is also a restaurant now. It's like a romantic place, and they play piano and have great food. Because when I'm traveling, I love to try food.
Mhm.
I For me, if I don't have good food, I don't have a good travel.
Right.
So, like Rio de Janeiro always have something to do at night, or even like if you walk during the business day, you find people in the beach.
Oh gosh, yeah. And it's I mean, I'm assuming, like, from what I've seen on television, it looks
Mhm.
huge, like, there are people everywhere.
Yeah, and like in February when it's carnival, people from around the world come to visit the country and join the carnival. And it's funny because in every state we have a different type of carnival. So if you come to my state, you have a type of carnival, and if you go to Rio de Janeiro, you have another type. And
And
actually, Rio de Janeiro has my favorite type of carnival. It's beautiful.
okay. Not to say which one is your favorite.
Yeah, it's the Rio one.
So if anybody was to, like, come to Rio for, like, the first time, where would you say, like, you have to go see this?
The Christ, the Redeemer. You need. It's a great experience. Also, in the book of Abby Green, she put it. Maybe I think the wedding was in the Christ. Yeah,
Oh,
I
okay,
just
yeah.
opened the book to see. It's like in the Christ Redentor Church. Exactly.
Yes.
It's
Shout
like
out to Abby. She did her she did the work.
yeah, it's the Christ, the big Christ with the open arms. You see
Yeah.
it? Yeah, it's really beautiful up there.
Okay.
You need,
Okay.
if you come to Brazil and visit Rio, you need to visit this place.
Oh my gosh. So are you like, because you've been to Egypt, you've traveled, like where haven't you been yet that you're like, I want to go here?
The United States. I would like to visit New York.
You've never been to the States?
No, I don't even have visa.
Okay, well, we need you to come to the States. I haven't been to New York and I live in the States, so
Because sometimes I write books that are set in New York, so I need to make a lot of research. And maybe if I just visit and see with my own eyes, it would be easier.
yeah. Oh, I hope you can go. I
Yeah.
hope you can go. And when you go, you can buy some Harlequins.
Oh, I will bring a bag just for this to buy
Yes.
as much as I can.
You need a suitcase, okay? At Walmart alone, there's Harlequins all over the place. So, I hope you can go.
And I will try to find old Blaze books because if I try to buy it on Amazon, they are really expensive. The old ones, the shipment.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if I
Oh
go to the
man.
United States, I will look for them.
Well, I do y'all have eBay or no?
We don't have. I think we don't have eBay Brazil, but if you try to buy it from the states, it's possible to deliver here.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
the
that's where I see
shipment
a
is
lot of
expensive.
blazes. But yeah, you'd have to do the shipment, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. I
the
get
dollar is expensive.
it. Well, tell everybody like where they should be keeping up with you online and I mean if any like if how do we get a hold of your books?
Oh my god, I will need to translate my books. I swear.
Okay. Okay.
You can find them on Amazon. Right now, they are just in Portuguese, but for sure, I'll try to translate them. And also, I plan to write for Harlequin maybe one day. I
You
tried to,
should.
yeah, I tried twice, like one time for Presents, but it was rejected, sadly, and one time
Okay.
for Harlequin Romance. But I want to keep trying. The hard
Keep
thing is to
trying.
translate into English
Yeah. Yeah.
and give the emotion that I have in Portuguese to English, you know?
I get that.
Yeah.
Oh man, I need you to write these books, okay, and submit something. Just keep trying, okay?
Yeah, I'll
Because
keep trying.
knowing the emotion part is so important to you. Like I'm a sucker for emotion, so
Oh, I love internal conflict.
yes. Well, what about your Twitter? Tell people your Twitter, like where they should be following you.
My Twitter is Jhonatas and oh my god, how can I pronounce underline?
Just fine. Just say underline
So
underscore.
the yeah. And on Instagram is Jhonatas1025.
Okay. I'll have the links in the show notes of where people can keep up with you.
Oh, that's
Um,
perfect.
yeah, like I'm so excited. You have to come back.
Oh,
I'm
sure.
gonna keep my fingers crossed that you can go to New York and buy a bunch of books.
Thank you. I truly want to visit there.
Yes. And you have to tag, like, whenever you go to Rio, like, all your travels from here on out, you have to tag me so that I can live vicariously through you because I don't go anywhere.
Oh, actually, I'm thinking that maybe I should bring the book by Avery Green with me and take a picture there and post like,
Yes.
look, the place of the background of the book. I'm here.
And I'm gonna write in the comments, you're a presents hero.